Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Under Construction. This is episode 19 to 20. I think this is episode 20, actually. Anyways, coming off of the war on cars, I'm not going to talk about that this week at all. So, not that I really have anything new to talk about, if I'm going to be completely honest, with regards to that. I haven't seen it again. I haven't really had time to watch too many YouTube videos, so I haven't seen any weird ads. So anyways, this week, we've got three things. Of course, the first one is the housing development here. That's the first thing I want to work on. Second thing is getting the grass down out here. That's a big thing. That's the big thing. That's going to be copy-pasting galore. And the third thing is actually putting in the multiple industries for in here, and that'll be it. And I can talk about what I've been doing in the meantime. In this, or for the map. So, if anybody doesn't remember, by the way, this is going to be a subdivision, and it's going to be under construction, of course. What I'm going to do, actually, instead of doing it like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to... They're still building the roads, right? Still building the roads, so... do that. That way they're, like, putting the sidewalk in. If you get it. If you get what I mean. Not if you get what I mean. I'm sure you get what I mean. It's not like I'm saying something cryptic. They're still putting the sidewalk in. And then this side is going to be a little bit farther along, so I think I'll put in another section of double sidewalk. Actually, I need to curve this way, because I need to not get too close to the other road there, which, you know, doing a semi-good job of that, but... this is going to go to here. And we've got to use a bunch of the under construction houses that I licensed specifically for this show. Just kidding. And I need some interesting colored ground. This is going to be mostly dirt, actually. I just need some dirt. Give dirt. So I need to think about... see, this is kind of boring. I feel like I should add more outbuildings around here or something. Maybe a little office, but this is... like, everything here is here. I don't know what to put in this block. Again, maybe restaurants or something, but I started putting some stuff over here like you guys saw. I don't know. I need to look at more of prototypes for that sort of thing, actually. It's kind of what I feel like I should be doing. Because honestly, I haven't really looked at the prototypes very much for how these neighborhoods really look in real life. And that's, I don't know, I probably should do more of that. Like, I've just looked at the area around me and seen what it looks like. So, it's not the most accurate. It's over here. Nobody complained about the music last time, so I did what I could to keep it relatively the same. But it might be a little bit louder than it was last time. I thought last time actually it was kind of quiet when I was listening to it on the playback. Let's get other kind of grass. Yeah, we didn't actually, like... I should have overlaid the random-ish grass texture, like the 3 grass textures. I should have put a copy-paste of that here and then painted it over with the dirt. I feel like that would have given us better results, but we didn't do that, so we're just going to do it like this, little bits at a time. This area I don't think will take too long. The thing that I need to add here that I didn't even think about until just now, I need to add some tree stumps. Actually, that makes sense. Put some tree stumps down. Actually, I don't think I'm going to use this grass at all, unless that's also this grass. No, it's not. Yeah, see, I'm not going to use that grass over here yet. And the reason for that, like, this is different grass, right? Yeah, it is. It's slightly darker. But the reason for that is because that's lawn grass, I guess, is what we've sort of set it out to be. And this is forest grass. One of 3 forest grasses. Let's just color this sucker in. There you go. And then over here, I guess, could use it, and then we'll just use the dark grass on the rest of it. So grab it there. Nope, not what I wanted. Grab it there. Nope, still not what I wanted. How about right there? There we go. There's only a couple of spots that need to be filled in with the dark grass. No, we don't want to answer that. No, thank you. Shush. Alright, so this area is cleared out now. I need to put some grass lines around. Actually, let me put down the under construction houses first. Where is one? Come on, show me. Show me. There we go. House construction. And so we'll sort of spread them out a little bit. So we've got house construction 1 here. This should face the road like this. Whoops. Oh, that's right. It's one of these bastards where you grab the corner for some reason. House construction 10. This is going to be right on the road, I guess. And at a weird angle. Oh wait, this is the one I just used. Isn't it? No, this is slightly different. Because this one has a roof that's going up. About house construction 3. See, I'm missing some of them. I feel like I should get the rest of them first. But I'm not going to download stuff during the show because we've seen that doesn't end well usually. Come on. I need some like flatbed trailers of stuff or some miscellaneous what have you. What is the computer doing now? Let me check on it real quick. No, nothing's too bad. Okay, so change pick list, miss objects. There needs to be a box of screws by each house. And I'll rotate them slightly. This one's going to be right out front. Turn 90 degrees. Yep. This one's got a ways to go, so I'll put 2. These are detailed little assets. Huh. I said this wasn't going to take too long, but it's probably going to take a little while because I want to put all these stupid things around. I'll leave that one orientated the way it is. Wood boards as scenery. Those look like Oh, it's crate. Let's put some crates out. Say it's like tools or something. And of course the quintessential oil drums. Or whatever these guys are doing. What do I need? I need wood. I need just lumber. Yeah, there we go. What's the difference between 4-stack and 4-stack P? Oh. Platform. We'll put this here and we'll put like a 2-stack on the side of it. Show that they're using up lumber. And I want one of these semi-trailers. Here's the other thing. Does anybody actually know if there's anything that can carry the semi-trailers? That's, 1950s-esque. Because we do kind of need something like that. And then I want some... What else do I want? Oh, you know what? I need to actually grab these and put them in the thing. Let me just bring the lumber partial in here. That'll bring us to it. Lumber mill storage. Oh, lumber mill storage. No. Lumber stack. Yeah, put some lumber back here. They still need, like, sheets of lumber. Everything's mostly wood anyways. I need the flatbed trailer that I used over at the log transfer. Where are you? USA trailer, Great Dane with loaded wood box. I think this actually looks not bad. I don't know what the heck that is. What the heck? Ooh, goodbyes. Oh, it's greenhouses. That could be useful in the future, but I'm not sure. Semi-truck, no. Oh. You could be useful in the future. US House 7B. It's House 4D. These are kind of lame. I'll put like one of these, like deuce and a halves over here. Because why not? Military surplus is a thing. Union Jack. No, that's not what I need, actually. What do you know? I don't need a Union Jack in an American route. Alright, so what else do I need? I need... Oh, here we go. Pipes. No, I don't know what you are. I guess it's liquid propane, LP. Unless it's Let's Play. but I don't think it's that split. You know, how about pipes? Pipes. Steel pipes on ground. Yeah, this is a construction site. We will have these. Steel pipes, some on ground. Industrial pipes. Yeah, see, this is the time where we have to look through all this stuff again. Derelict culvert pipes. No, not what I need. Okay, so... See, I think the number one thing we need is some more lumber laying around. And maybe some more, Here, let me drag these and put these in here. Some more lumbar is good. I'll just put it alongside the house here. There. I feel like we should get some more crates as well. The crates are good. Let's not merge the two into one another, but... There we go. It's good enough. I feel like we should put some cars down here, though. And maybe a couple of trees. I mean, especially over here. This, you know, it makes sense to put the trees over here. This is the same kind of forest, so... Where are the birch trees? We need a bunch of them. Here you are. So we should be using the push pins. But we're not. There we go, big one. Some of the trees have been chopped down, presumably. In fact, I'd wager most of them have been. We've got a couple of holdouts here and there. Especially in this spot right here. Very large birch trees. So why do all those birch trees look the same? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. No idea, actually. Can I see another kind of tree? Or is that it for over here? There's definitely more trees over here. Yeah, like you. Are there really no more trees here? Did I give up or something? I should put more trees there. I want one of these dark maples. Being slightly nommed on by birch trees, but that's okay, I guess. Generally, don't let the birch trees dominate unless they're the only ones in the area. So, a little bit different. Little bit different. Put a couple of these on the... Nope. How about the good-sized ones? These kind of trees you can't destroy. And yeah, I did say I would put some stumps down, didn't I? So we do need to do that. First 4 birch trees. Something I should be questioning is, do the birch trees that get copy-pasted, or did any of the speed trees that get copy-pasted always retain the same size? Or does it randomize just because they've gotten quote-unquote moved via the copy-pasting? That's a scientific experiment waiting to happen, actually. I feel like, I hope they do. It'd be kind of interesting if they didn't. Ah, that's what we need, a river birch. Just need more trees. What else have we got? Show me what you got. I'm gonna close in the back of the place there. You know what? Yeah, it's good enough. Spin that like that, and that like that. That's good. Alright, so let's fill this area in with the grass. With the grass. Why is it not showing up? There it is. Alright, there we go. Let's not put the grass into the side of the house that's being worked on. That'd be good. That sort of takes away from the idea that people are working on it. There's grass all over the place. If they can't be bothered to mow the lawn, do you really think they're going to be good enough to build a house? I wouldn't trust them. So we're going to do that. Hopefully this looks okay. I'm not going to really be scrutinizing it too much. Again, these are bits of the map where it's like, does it really matter all that much? You know, I'm going way overboard in Olive, as we've covered many times before. But this is something else. Actually, it's not. It's not something else. It's the same thing. I'm just still going overboard. So over here. Nope, not good. Not good. Not good. Other direction, maybe. That might work better. There. And I need the smaller grass line for touching up and just sort of blending. This isn't the smaller grass line, but I'm going to use it for now. So I do need to string power lines through a few blocks that I haven't done that with yet. Something to keep in mind, something to remember. It should be on the timetable for today. There we go, we've got some houses under construction. And now you know what? We've got a few minutes. What I think I should do is I should go and put some cars down. Because we've been sort of neglecting putting cars in driveways and stuff like that. So let me grab you guys. And I'll put some cars over here by the thing. Because I guess I need to put some sailboats over here, and then this area will be done. Funny, because this assumes people wouldn't park right in front of the doors all the time. actually going to have these guys park over here. The thing is, I need the individual cars. What is it? Oh. Furniture warehouse. Does this accept furniture? Or produce, consume? Plywood, produce, consume. IKEA pallet. Lumber, produce, consume. That's interesting. I'll have to use this. Is this in my industries list? Because if it isn't, it should be in there. Or the mills, I mean. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Hide that for now. Let me just grab an individual car so that we can access the rest of them. Yeah, I haven't put down individual cars in a while, huh? Where's the one here? There should be other cars here. Oh, there's... Nope, that's part of the building. There should be one here. There's a car. It's not the right kind, but... Oh, I have to zoom in more? Oh. That's not a good sign for right now. Went up. There. I don't know. I don't know how much I want to do with this. If you guys want me to put things and all the stuff, then I will. Cars in the driveways and stuff like that. If you think it's not a necessary detail, then I won't bother. But I do want to put some over here. Like, you know, because these are the people that work here. And then mostly pickups, probably. I'll have to park another pickup over here. Not that color. Yeah, one of these. That's good. Yeah. Okay. So the other thing I do need to use these car splines for is this right here. No, not the modern cars. That's not what I want. Oops, those guys are on the curb. Yeah, these are too many cars for this thing. Even if every individual person brought their own car, this is too many cars. But I think I'm just going to have to leave it as is, because I really don't know what else to do with this area. I don't know what else to put in here. So. This side of town, you know what? I need sailboats. Sailboat. I don't want one that's pitching and rolling. How about boat trailer? Something like that. Boat runabout. Don't bob. Okay. I'd like to put down a bunch of sailboats over here and other boats. But I don't know. Sailing boat. If the sail's extended, I can't use it. because you can't use it. If either the sail is extended or you know what? I'll just line up a bunch of lobster boats. Or at least two of them, because we've got two. I'll put a second one, like an identical one next to it. There. We've got some boats. KB Boat Harbor. Okay, now that's a thing. Houseboat. Fishing boat. A hiding and fishing boat come to America. I need to, you know, the thing is these guys are sitting in the gravel. They need to not sit in the gravel, they need to they need to sit on the gravel, first of all. Not only need to sit on the gravel, ideally they'd be sitting on something, like blocks. These guys are not sitting in the gravel, they are sitting in there. Let's just put them -3 and call it a day. Nope, too much. There. We've got some boats in the marina. Not great, but it's something. Oh hey, boat trailers. Line up a ton of them over here. These guys are not aligned whatsoever, but that's okay. Thing is, I should probably populate the area with more sailboats. Like, not just in here, I just mean out here. A BW boat. Here, we'll put this guy over here too, somewhere. Facing these guys. Not like impacting them, but over here somewhere. And then up a little bit so it's not sunken into the ground. Yeah, there's not enough I can do to make this realistic as a larger boatyard. But pretty much all I can do is just place a bunch of boats in the gravel and just call it that. But yeah, I should place a bunch of boats out here. That's what I should do. We already have one. I don't know. I don't feel like going into that much detail with that area. So what's this? Oh, those are the bits of cars. Yeah, I wish I just had more assets like these guys. Because these guys are up, you know, on planks and stuff. This guy even has his mast out there. These guys, it's just like, no. What are we doing? You know what? I need crane tracks. Dock crane track. How tight of a corner can a dock crane turn? Okay, apparently using the straightened spline on this is not something that's allowed. It's just not letting me do it. Presumably, these are just supposed to be in a straight line. Either that or it's just acting like a bridge. Oh, it's because there's such a divot. To flatten the boatyard a little bit. But what's the point of having this here? I don't know, let's find out. Oh, we can't, because... Okay, never mind, not worth it. I was gonna have like a dockyard crane that looked like you could pick the boats up and move them around, but that's not gonna happen. Oh well, we're just not doing that. Yeah, putting the cars in the driveways, that's a project for another day. So 40 minutes into the video, just about. So let's get to the other thing. Oh, real quick though. Give me some stumps. Yep. Let's go back there. No, I missed it. Over here. These are just miniature versions of that. Give me one of these. Not what I thought it was. There you are. Let's stump one. Another big one. Grab this little one. Put some more out here. These guys, it doesn't matter how they're rotated. They look the same no matter what. Well, these guys are a little bit wonky. Or they're not wonky enough, rather. They were too well put there. Alright, so stumps. We got some stumps there. Okay, now back to what we were supposed to be doing. Back to your regularly scheduled programming. One of the things I was supposed to do is finish running this to places. So I need to run this to here and to there. I was sort of on the docket, and then we left here and didn't come back. Nope, wrong button. Put this like this. And squeeze through here. Problem is, none of the stumps are loading anymore. Not really sure why. but presumably because the map just isn't having it. It's like playing Plinko with a car. See, I don't have anything philosophical to go on about. I'm not sure even anybody left me comments with philosophical things to go on about. What am I going to even talk about this time? The joys of having nothing to do at work? Actually, speaking of which, so, due to the fact that I have nothing to do at work, most of my time has been relegated to stuff relating to this map in some way, shape, or form. And obviously I can't work on it while I'm there. Alright, so we're gonna go this way now. I thought I was going a different direction than I was. So, needless to say, I am slightly lost. But I started building timetables and freight schedules and things like that. And the reason why I need us to go and put the reason I need us to go and put the I don't remember. The finishing touches on the multiple industries, the places that don't have multiple industries yet. The reason that is so important is I need to know everything that's going in and out of all of them. And that won't even really matter for a while. Because of course I will have to make stuff up. But the idea is, if I know everything that's going in and out of Olive, then I can at least plan where and when the freight trains are going to come through. Now, the issue is, with portals, which this is something I'm not going to be able to do unless I find a way around it, I can't, friggin' hell, I can't think of what I was going to say. This is what I was going to say. No, I can't tell specific trains to come at specific times. There's no, like, button for that. And so what I might actually do, and this is a little bit strange, but what I might actually do is build a honest-to-goodness off-map staging area. And so, while portals are all well and good, what I might want to do is build out a few tiles and build a gigantic yard, and just park a ton of trains in there, like the ones that are going to come through the system. And that might even be a good thing to do. That might even be smart. I'm not sure it's really relevant right now, but it's something that I might want to do in the future. But basically all of the scenery and stuff will just end. And even what I might do, and this is the really silly part, is to make sure you can't see it from here, A, use those phony backdrops, but B, just extend a track that goes out over, like, the void and put some tiles over here. To do that with. What if there's an invisible ground texture? That'd be interesting to do. But then it'd actually be building up and staging trains that would come in, instead of just using portals, because I can't do exactly what I want with the portals. Alright, so now we need to come over here, and we need to go this way, more or less. Just like in this direction. We'll have it come to the edge of the forest and then skirt along it. This is the area where... This is an area where I felt like I should have been done with this ages ago, and it feels done in my head, but I know it wasn't done. Because I hadn't done this, and I hadn't done the... like, I've done the multiple industries, I've named everything, I haven't done the grass for this area, so this area is very plain. So, yeah, that's what I was thinking about that. If anybody knows, actually, if there's a way to do that with the new portals, or if there are new portal, or, you know, if there's something that I can do to make it spit out a certain train at a certain time, all the time, instead of what portals currently do, then that would be super awesome. Don't get me wrong, though, I love portals. They are so incredibly useful. You know, there's not a map I've made where I haven't really used portals in some capacity. In terms of something that actually functions. Which, for the most part, I haven't really done that with too many things. But, like, anything that's not fully self-contained, obviously you need portals for, and I love the versatility of them. The thing is, I haven't always used the randomly generate trains function. I'll generally use them like a train goes in, train comes out, the portal next to it, either loaded or unloaded. I think I did that in Geiger Mountains, all the way back to Geiger Mountains. I didn't have them randomly producing trains because I didn't trust it. What was the map where I did do that? I don't know. What was the map where I did that? I can't even think of it. I feel like because it couldn't have been the TV and ARR. I didn't really get that far with that, and I didn't automate that ever. I didn't get that far in the grand scheme of things. I don't know. There's something off about what's going through my head, because I'm missing out on something. You know what? I did it with the Iron Horseman a lot, actually. Not with the series, just with the railroad itself. And I would just let it sort of run and just see where things, you know, how things went. You know, see if the trains could do it. And that was interesting. That was always interesting. How long would the AI go before it suffered like a catastrophic failure? I need to get like a squarish area that's covered in grass, and then I need to copy paste it. Because I'm not doing it like this. That would be insane. But yeah, and I really wasn't thinking about that until just now, and I realized, hold on, I'm making a timetable, certain trains have to arrive at certain times. How do I get the portal to do that? Unless I haven't really looked at portals hard enough. Which I wouldn't blame myself. Or I wouldn't be surprised, rather. Oh, crap. I'm looking at this the wrong way. Alright, let's try it like this. What does this come out as? That's not great. I can, like, sort of do this. But if I'm overlapping it all, it deletes it. Unless I do this, which, that sort of is okay, but it opens the door for other problems. Which, it's never going to be perfect. I just need to fill in the gaps. And what I really need to be doing is, instead of just filling in the gaps, fill in the gaps, then grab a larger swath and do it again. You know, do it repeatedly until the whole area is covered, just using a larger tool every time. Trains does hate you when you put down this many splines, though. The thing is, it looks so good. When the game finally gives up on rendering the spline points and you guys can see what I'm talking about, you'll agree with me. This is in the same vein as the forest itself, where it's... So I've already established that Taint hates splines. I've said that several times. And you guys should know this by now. It likes, you know, it doesn't really love speed trees, but it hates spline trees even more, especially if you go nuts with them. And, you know, try to fill in every gap and have it random looking. Which is why speed trees are better for that kind of thing. Obviously, for cheap and dirty, or, you know, quick and dirty, the spline trees are way better. They're miles ahead. But speed trees, you can get a kind of, like, fidelity almost that you wouldn't get otherwise. See, now I'm thinking of this, like, in the trees, what am I gonna do? Because I don't want it to look like it ends before the trees. So I just need to put some stuff around the edge, and then when I'm copy-pasting, what I can do is I can just sort of push the edges of my copy-paste box into the trees, and it'll look slightly better. If I really wanted to go overboard, like I've said, I would go 100% grass over every area that needs grass, including underneath the trees in the forest. But that's not something I'm going to do. That's insane for its own reasons. Although I realize just by doing this, what I'm doing is I'm taking the only place in the rat that runs well and making it run much, much worse. However, it is sort of... Up until now, it was probably the worst looking, you know, quote-unquote finished place in the route. That isn't grid. Okay, so... Sometimes having a wide brush is not the best. Yeah, that's very spotty. That's not good at all. I don't know what happened, but the first brush was far, far better. The first copy-paste. It's just the way I arrange stuff and where I grabbed the copy-paste from. But the bright side is we get a lot under the trees. And maybe it should be a little bit more spotty than I'm making it. It might even make sense to do it that way. Gotta make sure I only copy splines though. And additionally, I need to make sure that I grab... Oh wait, what the hell? Oh, I grabbed... Remember what I just said? Fixed. Hopefully we didn't create that anomaly elsewhere, because that's a little bit strange. I goofed. I don't even know why that would have been like that, so... we have a decent portion filled in. What was the third thing? The third thing was multiple industries. It's okay, because I don't think the comments are as engaging as last time. I glanced at them. TBA didn't go through and post 100 comments this time. Or, well, I didn't really get any, like, super duper, hey, you should do this. I mean, Dean posted one, and I did see, or not Dean. It was Dean? Yeah, Dean posted a constructive one, but unfortunately I'm already too far along with that area. And I'll do something like that in the future, probably, if I have the opportunity. But this is ideally the one town that'll be like this. I want every town to be sort of distinct. This is, I mean, obviously the whole map is going to feel like the 50s, because it has to, it is the 50s. But the towns are going to be different. Even, because this is going to be the one that's on the water. None of the other ones are going to have this much oceanside, except for Gilson City, and that doesn't really count because that's all built up oceanside. Alright. Just gonna fill in these gaps. I do need to push the edge in a little bit here to make it feel a little bit less like you're on a giant cut open section and it just happens to be no grass on this area. There's a reason there's no grass in this area. That's done on purpose. It's done on purpose. So let's bring this in here. I'm going to cover up this area as best I can. Okay. And then when there are a few gaps, then I will copy paste this even larger section, and we will go even more with a single click. We will get even more out of a single click. The thing I want to do is I kind of want to create, like I want to realize where the edges are, especially relative to the cardinal directions, and create a nice hard edge for us to work off of instead of sort of guessing. Or, you know, not, even worse, just like not having it be helpful. There. Okay. So we have like a hard edge here now. And that should be better, theoretically, except it's not the edge that we need. Although, what we could do is... So, make sure I don't use the wrong thing. Just grab splines. Don't grab the road either. That's something I need to be careful of. What I can do is if I spin this around, then suddenly I have an edge. Nope, that didn't quite work. Damn it. I was quite hopeful about that. Let me just grab a smaller section to use for this. There. As we get farther from the railroad, we can do less and less with the grass. I don't even know how far it renders it out. It's like, how far out does it actually matter? Is the real question. For us right now, not that far because, well, basically because we're on an extremely low render distance. I'm gonna get a new graphics card soon. That's... Oh, you are kidding me. We got a measly 3 splines out of that copy-paste. Grab a bigger section. How does it look right here? That's much better. Okay, now we have some grass on the tracks. Most of the time, I'm pretty. Oh. Most of the time, I'm pretty okay with grass on the tracks. But right now, no, because there's not supposed to be enough sort of stuff in this area to grow onto the tracks. There's grass elsewhere because we cut back the forest. But the track itself, it's not getting overgrown. There are some spots on the way up here that have a little bit of foliage on the track, but foliage on the track, whatever. So yeah, off-map staging yard with, maybe even with portals sort of to use. And the thing is, I really need like if-then statements in trains. Which is a weird thing to say, but being able to program trains to do certain things on conditionals is miles ahead of what we've got. And I mean, it'd be a cut above pretty much anything else as far as I know. But it's like, if this track is occupied, go to this track, or if this industry is full, go do this, or certain things that we can use to trigger the AI other than just timing and other trains. Because right now, all we've got is triggers, and the only thing a train can do while it waits for a trigger is just that, wait. And that's not helpful, necessarily, most of the time. Unless you can use the autopilot as a sort of switch. Because you can say to the autopilot disable at blank track mark. This is the kind of thing that we're going to need to run some experiments on probably, but I don't want to take time away from actually building the map to run experiments. So, I don't know. I don't know how we're going to swing that. We're getting there. We have a chunk of it filled in. I feel like we're going to be here for a little while. But we did hit an hour though, so let's go look at the comments. We've got 5 comments. Ace Republic says, the takeoff run of an F4U-1 Corsair is 482 feet in a calm wind, 313 feet in a 15-knot wind, and 217 feet in a 25-knot wind. That is really, really short. And, I could put airstrips for Corsairs all over the town if I wanted to, but that's not something I'm going to do. It's good to know, though, just for the sake of getting a ballpark idea of where, how long a runway needs to be. Obviously, Corsair is not your average aircraft, but if you can have a runway that is that long, in theory, in the hypothetical, then I could build a runway that is that long, and then shoehorn some sort of explanation around why it's so short, and have it still be, at least usable. Obviously, I'm not going to use the smaller of those numbers because it's in a headwind. I'm building a runway, not an aircraft carrier. So, generally when you put down a runway, you don't decide which way the wind's going to blow across it. You might take that into consideration when you're designing it, but carriers could always turn into the wind, which is pointed out later in the comments. I think Dean says that. We'll get to it in a minute. Carriers could always turn into the wind to give the planes a better chance of getting off the deck earlier. But a runway is a stationary object stuck to the ground. Generally part of the ground, as a matter of fact. So you can't really do that. Just wait until somebody... Well, the other thing, not only can the aircraft carrier turn into the wind, it can go at speed. It can move. It can turn and it can move. So those are two things that an aircraft carrier has over your average airstrip. I think all airports should be just replaced with artificial lakes and carriers driving around on them. That way you can launch stuff from a shorter distance. Think of all the savings. move this back a little bit instead of just deleting it. There. Alright, so we've gotten a good chunk of it done so far. Let's keep going. Next comment. Oh yeah, TVA says, Ace Crowley, I thought it was more than that. Go, those Navy planes have extremely short takeoff runs because of aircraft carriers. And Dean says, keep in mind they're on carriers which can turn into the wind. And drive into the wind, for that matter. So yeah, that's what I was saying. I added the drive into the wind bit. But that's another important part that gets overlooked. Boats move. Oops. Let me move that over a little bit and see how much better I can get it. Right there. There you go. Out here, I will admittedly get kind of lazy with this because I'm not really sure how much worth it is to bother making it perfect when it's this far away from the railroad tracks. Again, if this is something that you're interested in having me fix, I will do it. Just post a comment about it. But, because this is, you know, it's not just my map, I'm going to release it. So, if you have questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, then my ears are wide open. Speaking of which, Dean says, I think that the anchor would look good at the end of a winding road to the beach. Nothing else around but that building and the road leading to it. I agree. I do agree, and I think it would look really good. The only problem is a winding road to the beach generally attracts a lot of people. You know, it's you know, beachfront property, man. It's expensive stuff. You can't just have a winding road and nothing else around it. Nothing else around this classy hotel. People are gonna want to post up there. So, but we don't even have room for that in Olive anymore. I sort of took up all the beachfront and all of the things that are close to the beachfront. So, unfortunately, we don't have the option of building a piece of beachfront property that's secluded on its own. Over here. Whoa. Okay. Put this here. The problem is we're like missing the bottom, and the top will overlap and the bottom just won't be there. You guys are probably looking and seeing exactly what I mean. No, I guess you're not blind and you're not dumb. If you're not seeing what I mean, like, we had most of the stuff towards the top of the copy paste, and then the bottom it was like half of stuff. This almost hurts to look at. I'm not focusing on it with my eyes. It's just sort of there. Everything's swirling around. The game is not happy with it in the slightest. But that's okay. I'm just glad I'm not doing it by hand. Like, filling in the gaps is tedious. Doing it by hand, I would want to shoot myself. It's so much work. So much work. So, yeah, I did this a little bit before. I've done it a little bit previously. And that time it was, like, okay, you know what? We're gonna copy paste this. We're not investing this much time and effort into literally just grass. I feel like this area needs more too. It's so plain. There's just these 3 houses, which are identical because they're company housing. We got that, you know, quote-unquote office right there. What I need is, I need some of the not pipes, I need the oil tanks. So where have I gotten it to? I got it over here. I've gotten it all the way down here. So we have like a good third of it done. And then once this is done and that's done, we won't have to come up here again. This will be, you know, this will actually be finished. The olive branch itself will be finished. And that's you know, some triumph right there. That's good. That's real good. Alright, so I guess we're just going to do this now. We're going to do it this way. Then we're going to delete the stuff that's on top of the tracks. It does come out looking kind of, you know, unique or whatever. It's like, it's not just the... You'd think it's all the spinning spline points that are doing it, but they don't actually have that much of a performance effect. I did go in and turn them off at one point just to see what kind of difference it would make, and it doesn't make that much of a difference. It's just all the grass. So all the grass is like semi-transparent, and just graphics rendering in general hates doing semi-transparent stuff. There we go. So we'll get there. We're gonna take care of this. This is tedium at its finest, which is why I wish I had more comments to read, and I wish I had like more brain right now, because it's not working. It's not giving me things to think about, to talk about. But so to go back to what I've been making, I now have full timetables for, well, or almost full. Just an amendment there, because some of the trains I don't have slotted. I know they exist, I just don't know necessarily when in the schedule they're going to be. I also don't know the actual timings of anything, like what time things reach certain places, except for what time certain things reach Olive, because obviously Olive already exists, because I don't know how far away anything is. The thing I want to use as a baseline is the idea that Boston is 44 miles from Providence by rail. So that's sort of a frame of reference. I don't really know how necessarily I'm going to utilize that exactly, but that is my frame of reference right there. Because I travel back and forth between the two by train every day. Miles is quite a bit. And the famous The Comet used to do 44 miles in 44 minutes, and that was its claim to fame. So if the Comet could do that, then we here at the Gilson Eastern can as well, because we can definitely make 60 miles an hour average. The thing is, I want to make this, and of course I've said it 1,000 times, I want to make it multiplayer compatible. And the issue with doing that is, or the real issue, not even like the logistical, that you need to get the right assets, etc., etc. The actual issue is you gotta make it so that people want to play on it. And some things are just too big, and I feel like this is going to be too big. And I know that's an ambitious thing to say out loud. I think it's going to be too big for people to want to play on. But honestly, it's a town, or it's a map. It's a town. It's a map with like 9 towns, 9 major towns, and they're all going to be like half an hour apart. So to get from one end of the map to the other, it's going to be like a 2-hour drive, and that's a long way. You know, that's a long way, especially to like sit in a session with somebody and do that. The idea is every corner of the map will have enough for you to do, so you don't actually have to go to great distances if you don't want to. But I don't know. It's something that you know, I think about when I'm thinking about the future of the map and sort of how it's going to be received and how it's going to be used. Now I'm going to turn on this. And I really, really wish I had a square thing. Oh, crap. Okay, the tracks are down there. Let's not overwrite the tracks by accident. That's what I don't want to do. Let's just turn that on again. Overlay that like that. I know it's going to cover in the lake a little bit, but that's okay. So now I've got to fill in these gaps that I've created. Performance just keeps going down. It's like in the back of my head, I'm like, this is a terrible idea. Why are you doing it? I'm like, but it looks so good. It looks good. There's grass everywhere. It's like real life. They chopped down everything and now there's tall grass. I'll just get rid of that for now. Get rid of it. Go away. It's like, well, gee, it makes sense. Looks good. Just, you know, only if you look at the individual pictures that you get to see separately. And again, I don't really know how much detail I should go into with this. I've already sort of got this area now. The thing is, I don't want to leave such big gaps. You know, I'm okay with having little missing pieces here and there, but having blatantly missed whole sections is not something that I want to see around. So I will spend the time to patch these up. So, anyways, to go back to what I was saying. As we may recall, there are 4 major railroads in Rant. The first is the Gilson Eastern, which runs a main line that goes around the coast. And it's one of the 2 railroads in Olive. And it runs through Gilson City and out the other side and south all the way to the end of the map in the south, and off the map in the south, to a location that is not yet named. It also runs off the map to the north of Olive. Olive is the northern end of the map. If you go back to the first episode, first episode you can see the map of the world. Olive is, or not Olive, the Gilson Eastern is most like the PRR. That's sort of the thing that I put in my write-up, when I made a little write-up some time ago. I think I did that. It's most like the PRR. And I wrote down, like, a whole bunch of things about it, and so... I know where it's going, I know what it carries, I know sort of where it carries passengers. And I know that there are only going to be a couple of express stations on the system, so it's a 4-track main line. Some of the less important places, like Olive, only have outer platforms, so local trains stop there, express trains do not stop there. Using numbers based on the amount of trains that Amtrak does over parts of the Northeast Corridor per day, I created a schedule for that, for the passenger service on the Gilson Eastern Main Line. And by a schedule, I just mean the idea that there are this many trains, and they stop here, here, and here, right? And it's not a timetable yet, because I don't know how long it's going to take to get places. I have the times when every, I believe, southbound passenger train stops in Olive, but I don't have much else. I also have the time that they come out of the portal, but like I said, I might actually ditch the portal in the map in favor of a staging yard, an automated staging yard. Not sure, but it is tempting. It would be a lot of work to get right. It'd be one of those logistical things where, like, I'm content to just work on the map as it is and not worry about all of the little nuancy, changey things that I'm gonna have to work on. The things I'm gonna have to do with the portals, with, you know, interlocking towers, with switch names, super signals, etc., etc., etc. Those are the kind of things that I'm gonna have to get to at some point. I know I will. But those are more polished things, whereas this is a, okay, this area of the map is just straight up not done yet, let's work on it thing. And so that's my motivation for coming up here. To sort of finish out this area for good, almost. And I think I will spend the rest of the episode up here instead of going and doing the multiple industries, because I just need to think about, you know, even just for, I need to make like a temporary schedule for when I release Olive, just to give people an idea of where things need to go. And I have a basic idea of where some things need to go, but we have a lot of odd commodities coming into and out of Olive. The foremost being pallets of fruit. And I don't know where those are going to come from, and I think I'm going to have them come from off-map, but I'm not sure. Because I would like to, as much as possible, have things come from on-map. That way it's more stuff to be switched. If I can sort of tie everything up in a neat bow and have the only stuff that comes from and goes off-map to be sort of excess, then voila. But the thing is, I don't know if there's a good reason to have certain things here. Like, I know the scrap metal... I don't know what I'm going to do with the scrap metal, actually. I might make a sort of recycler. I might have them bring it to the steel mill where they can melt it down and reform it into something. You know, that part of it is tempting. There is going to be a steel mill, so I know that I'll be able to get the steel coils there. I don't actually think any oil products are going to be on the map. So that's something that we'd have to bring in from off-map, and I'd have to pick a direction for that to come from. And I'd have to pick a company that would bring that in. So, you know, I would like to... Here's the other thing, though, and this is the really difficult part. This is why having a staging yard, again, may be better than the portals. The staging yard is really good for, setting up stuff ahead of time with specific commodities in. And that's because if you use an auto load command it'll just load whatever the default is for that vehicle, and it won't just like, it won't let you pick. Which, that's a problem, because I need to be able to pick, you know, which car is going to be loaded with fruit pallets. Now here's the other thing, and I mentioned this in my group, but I didn't really get to elaborate on it. I don't like general goods anymore. And this is something that struck me while I was working on the supply and demand thing. And it's because they're too generic. They're no longer good enough, because I want to put, you know, it's a general, and you know, it represents LCL. It represents less than carload freight, which is a really important part of railroading. But the thing is, it's too generic because everything makes it. And I can't just... The ideal would be to, instead of just putting it on a train and sending it someplace, to force people to bring it to like a warehouse or something. And then it can get distributed from there. Which makes sense, I guess. And in fact, one of the places in Olive should probably like produce general goods as well as accept general goods, but that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? You know, just to sort of represent. No, that's not good. Just to sort of represent the fact that it's going into a distribution center and then coming out, but that doesn't make any sense. You know, I can do a lot more with other sort of less important, less generic types of goods, or, you know, more important perhaps, but less generic types of goods. Because then it can be very easily defined, like, this needs to go here, and this needs to go here. Which is why I started making that spreadsheet in the first place. If I know everything that needs to go into Olive, and everything that needs to come out of Olive, as well as all the other towns, before I even bother trying to make a freight schedule, then I already know what those freight trains need to contain. And on top of that, and this is the most important part, I know where everything on each of those trains needs to go. If there's a town that produces something, you know, if there's a town that produces fruit pellets, fruit pallets, not pellets, that means a boxcar from that town has to make it to Olive somehow. You know, you need to think about how, but it does need to happen. And now I'm worried that sometimes it might be too easy to do something like that, so I'm going to need to do even more with the silly commodities. And I call them silly. They're frankly very important. Because this is not a model railroad, and we can actually play with cars that load and unload specific things. Then you don't just have okay, I'll bring a bunch of boxcars over here, switch out all the industries, and call it a day. I'll bring, you know, I'll take the fools out, figure out where they need to go, and go get some other ones to replace the other cars. Like, it actually matters what boxcars go to what, which is something you don't usually get in a model railroad unless you're doing car cards, but then it's part of, you know, probably an operating session, and even still, that's not, like, the thing with trains is you can have a sort of continuously running session that you just return to when you feel like playing with it, which I think is awesome, and I would love to do it, I just never feel like it. You know, if there's tons of overlap, I'm not sure it even matters at this point. Which there is definitely tons of overlap, but I'm not sure it even matters at this point. So, we're going to grab this whole area. The idea should be actually to grab a larger area than even what you really want, like a significantly larger area, because that way you'll get the ends of the splines that are in your area. almost there though. We're, you know, I'm feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Okay. Now we need a smaller one. Smaller grab area. Also, the more dense you pack the splines in the grab area, then the better results you're going to get out of the paste area. Because you can miss, like, an important part of the grab area, but still be able to paste enough splines to sort of get your point across, so to speak. Oh yeah, I can feel the lag. Alright, so over here is missing grass. This is one of the last bigger areas that needs it. I'm gonna do it like this, and like this, actually. And we'll do that part separately. We'll do that part manually. Put that down like that. Okay. I wish I could just turn off the spline points, which I know I can make the game reach a point where it will just give up and not render them anymore, but that's not really what I want here. So cut this out. Drag that over there. I don't want to delete the track. So yeah, this area is going to be, some of this area has to be done manually because it's just going to be so finicky. I've got to get stuff up close to the track, and as well I've got to fill in all the holes near here. But for the most part, I think we're good. I think we're good. Except for some gaps out here. Like this one. Which we can fill this in easily. Yeah. Although, maybe we should start maybe I should start differentiating between what we're calling the bits that need to be patched, like the holes, and then just the gaps. Oh crap, and I covered this lock, stock, and barrel. Get out of here, grass. This area is maintained. These guys are very passionate about the landscaping around their tracks. The other thing is, one of the last things I need to do before I release this version is go through and check all of the track quality. This version, I don't think is going to be a version with, whatchamacallit, a version with the staging error, you know, the theoretical staging error that I keep talking about. Because we don't have enough of the map yet. It'll be, like, staged and ready to play around in, probably, and it'll include any of the assets that, that come with it at that point, which, despite the fact that Mason did make us very nice Scion and Skyline F units, they are not usable because multiplayer. They don't go on the DLS, or, you know, even if they do go on the DLS, you can't get all the parts for them, so they're not worth it. They're not worth even putting out. I guess they are, but not for my purposes. I'm just gonna put grass over this. Nobody will mind. the stumps really do it. And I do, like I said, I periodically check and make sure all of the stuff that we're using is okay. Even, you know, so that if I don't catch something in the episode, it'll be usable. But the map will still be usable for multiplayer, I mean. Because we'll be able to have, or, you know, I'll see it, and then I'll just get rid of it, replace it with something else, or what have you. But I do have to go through, once I'm done with this video, and check all of the commodities in Olive, figure out how many carloads a day they'd probably produce or take in. Let's move a house. Bunkhouse. Yep, that's why it looks about right. And now what I want is I want some of the miscellaneous stuff that we had before. So, change pick list, misc objects, wooden boards as scenery. And because I can put some of these down, like, out front of the houses, and it almost makes sense, you know. It looks like they sort of belong just sitting out here. And as well, there's wood piles, which these things just kind of suck. I can put one over there. Just have some crap laying around. Derelict wood. I don't think we're gonna do that, but we should put some oil drums out here. I'm supposed to have like a motor pool out here. Oh, that's pipes. What is lumber part? Oh, right, duh. Firewood cargo. Put this next to the office. Oil tank. Yeah, put that over there. You know what I need, actually? I need a pump. And that's what I want. I want windmill. This old son of a gun. Like Trains 2006. Although, wasn't there an animated one? Now that's all taken care of, you can just... yeah, just whatever. Can I get... not miscellaneous objects, I need... do I? Let's see. Oil loading rack, warehouse, standard oil depot. No. What was the other... what's the thing I always use? Try T-side. Nope. Alright, no, that's brand new. Mills. No. Damn it. Okay, what do I need? What do I need? What do I need? Miscellaneous objects. And then let me... this place looks like it already has... like, already looks like it has more life to it. Just because of the random crud that's sitting around. I do want the crappier grass to spread around. You know what? I need tank. No, not like that. Like, tank chevron. Tank bullet. Storage tank and stand. No. Storage tanks? No, but I could definitely use these. These sort of fit the bill with this building here. And so I want, you know, I do want another, let's see, it was called lorry. Steam lorry. That's interesting. U.S. Army lorry. That's what I want. I want one of these in this sort of motor pool back here. Remove a lorry. Lorry 3. Stop. Crane. Drop side tipper. Here, we'll put one of these out here, although I'm not sure how useful it's going to be. Or how useful it would be to this operation. Army lorry. Just another deuce and a half? That's too new. How about... Do I have a backhoe? No, how about a... I don't know. What if I just search Caterpillar? See, I don't know what era these things are. They look fairly new, but I wouldn't know. Like, I'm sure that's sort of new-ish, new enough, or old enough, or at least could be passed as such. Well, what's the other thing I want? Oil drums. Can I just have like an oil... like just an oil drum itself? Because I just want to... yeah, I just want one to put over here. I think that looks better with this stuff scattered around. Alright, let me go get the smaller grass. I zoomed out way too much. That's not the smaller grass. I didn't want to attach it, I wanted to grab it. I thought I made that very clear. Zoomed out too much again. Having a little bit of grass, not even over here. Like, over here is the lesser thing. The most important thing is actually putting grass on the compound, because then it'll feel a little bit more alive. Right now it does feel like we just dropped a bunch of buildings on a blank palette, which is exactly what we did. But we don't want it to feel that way. We want it to feel like it's a little bit lived in. And, you know, maybe it's a little bit real. Certain areas would be sort of grassy and ignored. Especially right here in between the tracks. But yeah, so the Great Tolbrin Reskin Project document has now grown immensely to encompass not just reskins that I think should be done for the route, but actual timetables, route plans, train schedules, I guess. I don't know the actual necessarily railroad names for all of these things, but I just mean, like, there's all sorts of stuff there now. You can see which trains come through which stations, and which stations are, after which trains. And for stations that currently exist, like Olive, you can see what time the trains come through. The Gilson Eastern has 6 different kinds of passenger trains, not including like an extra train or a charter train. The Gilson Eastern has, because it runs through Gilson and out the other side, it has trains that are relegated to just north of Gilson and just south of Gilson. Olive is north of Gilson, so I haven't worried about the ones south of Gilson only yet. And those are broken down into local and express trains. The express trains do not stop anywhere actually on the map aside from 2 places in Gilson City. The first being the main Union Station, and the second being there's a station on the outskirts. I sort of modeled it after, in my head it's modeled after Back Bay. Like, every train going in and out stops there. Alright, that looks better. I think this is passable now. It's still kind of bland, but honestly, what do you need? What do you expect? Oh, you know what? I need more grass over here. So, there are trains that are going to be coming through. Most of them just come through on the mainline tracks. Where's the station? It's right. It's up this way. Yep. It's right here. So here's our station. Relatively small, but it's how you use it. Oh, Mason did want me to look something up for him. Mason, if you watch this video, this is answering your question. I'm astonished I remembered. He wanted to know what I use for this. And so this is the SAP Warren Through Truss, which is a through truss bridge steel, which is a great bridge. And then these pillars are T-side pillars called RRTK 1T Through Truss Pier. So, there you go. That's what you wanted to know. So what was I saying? Most of the trains that come through, so there are local and express trains that go either north or south, and then there are local and express trains that go all the way through. No express trains stop here. No express trains stop here at all. Despite having these little things just in case, none of them do. All local trains do stop here, as well as a handful of other places, but all local trains do stop here. I do need to do... Okay, so we need to look real quick. We've got 10 minutes left. I'm going to spend this time checking the industries that we have. Oh, well, and I do need to mention, I made the schedule as well for the Volga Mountains Railroad here, which most trains, I think, do stop here. I think every train stops here. Let me check. Intercity passenger timetables. You guys can't see this, unfortunately. Every train has a number as well. Yeah, every train stops at all of them, and 2 trains a day actually terminate here, which is weird, but they do. The station was not designed for that, but due to the fact that we have a crossover right here, where? Somewhere. It's up here, it's north of this. Due to the fact that we have a crossover here, we can get away with it. They actually terminate, like, on the outer track. And then trains are routed around them temporarily. They don't stay here for very long. So, what was I... oh yeah, so I need to figure out all the commodities. I've done the 3 in here, which are... I believe this one's general goods. Yeah, it is. This one accepts general goods. Yeah, it's a legitimate business company. This one accepts, fruit pallets. Right? What's it called? Fruit canned on pallet. That's what it is. This accepts coal. This one is a little bit weird, if I recall. Work and Sons. It takes in lumber. Outputs railroad ties and wood furniture. Right. Then there's this place, which takes in crude oil. And then this, which loads in plastic pellets. That's just a weird one. So I need to remember that. And there's this, which is Slurm, which takes in this and outputs this. Now, I probably should make this not general goods. That's the thing. That should not be general goods. In fact, the only things that I should be having as general goods should be stuff that is specifically like either we're stuck with it producing general goods or stuff that just comes from warehouses. And every general goods place should have, or every warehouse should have a general goods place. What the hell is that? Oh, whoops. So how about... No, the other thing is soda ash. That's not what I want. How about... Now we have canned everything on a pallet. I would just like cans. Just cans in general. Cans. Oh, no. No, milk cans? Is that a thing that I can use? That's interesting. Hold on, let me see, because I will use that and I will take those cans everywhere. Manage content. Cans. Just find me cans. Milk cans, 20 gallons. Built in. Where is this from? Yeah, no, this is a question. I found a thing called YZ Bale of Aluminum Cans. Except that's not helpful because it's crushed cans, so no, never mind. What is this? Oh, it's the big cans. Damn it. No, I just need like an aluminum cans thing. That'd be nice. I guess I'll just leave that as is for now. But steel coils, what are they actually exactly called? Steel coil 2 times 2 meters. What's this one? This one unloads general goods. Yep. God damn it. More things with general goods. I need to make them more specific. Marzipan bulbs, I know, unloads quartz sand. This doesn't do anything. Although it should be like an abandoned... It was a grain elevator, theoretically, but it doesn't do anything anymore. I feel like there are a couple sightings I'm missing, aside from the coal. The other coal. And the other coal. That doesn't do anything. That spur is dead except for this, which loads sheep. Effing sheep. I did remember the sheep. The sheep need to get taken somewhere. all look so good though. I've set it up a bajillion times, but I'm so happy with this. I'm so happy with this place. So yeah, we need to look at what's going in and what's going out of here. Obviously, the train that drops off like the handful of loads per day that aren't empty log cars, not going to be as significant. But into all of industrial supply, I feel like they could use something else. I need to look for like an aluminum cans asset, or a tin can asset. Tractor farm all. Hold on. That's something. Tractor farm all. Product. Okay. So I can't actually have tractors as a product. John Deere tractor. Cast concrete pipes. All these weird lumber loads. Yogurt created on pallet. Utility poles. Camp goods. Farm equipment. What are those? Farm equipment. Okay, it's just like John Deere things. Roadstone, steel girders, steel roll, structural steel. This is supposed to be industrial supply warehouse, so I don't actually know what would go in here. But I feel like it should be something more specific than general goods, because the problem is we have things that produce general goods here. I don't know. It's just unless you're just going to, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like that it's so ubiquitous that everything produces it and then everything accepts it too. So there's no incentive to actually take cars out of here at all. But whatever. I'm sure I can change that a little bit. There'll be a net like in or out of general goods. And as well, these places still need multiple industries. We should probably figure out what these guys are going to need. This probably accepts a few things, probably including furniture, so we'd bring it from over there. Although, no, this is Reams, so, oh, it's a food bargain warehouse. So, this is going to be food, as well as this stuff. Drugs, and some sort of chemicals, I would presume, and the cleaners. I don't know, we need to figure out what all this is going to need. If we can get a tank car full of bleach. And this would be the ultimate general goods location. But that's the problem, because so many things already take general goods. I don't know. I guess you can do with whatever. You can do general goods with whatever, and you can drop them off all sorts of places and pick them up from all sorts of places. The thing that annoys me is just the idea that there's no real incentive then to take stuff great distances, because you can always get general goods there. I don't know. I'd like everyone's 2 cents on that matter. Anyways, at least we finished the olive branch. For the most part, it's done. I'm not gonna do too much more on it. In fact, I don't think I'm gonna do any more on it. So, there you go. It's all finished. And the game is not happy. But, you know, welcome to Rant. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next week. Trainman out. bye.